Hello and welcome to Football Daily, where today we're causing controversy of our list of 10 stars from around Europe who are yet to make good on their expensive price tags. Let us know what you think in the comments, and the best one will have a chance to feature on Sunday Vibes. 10. Romelu Lukaku. Even people who don't like Chelsea love Romelu Lukaku, an intelligent and hard-working player who scored goals everywhere he's been. And the Belgian, a boyhood Blues fan, was expected to revolutionise Tuchel's attack this season, arriving for £104 million after lifting the Serie A trophy, producing 35 goal involvements in 36 games for Inter last term. It hasn't been a bad start, with 3 league goals to date, but in 7 games that's hardly world class. The underlying stats are better, with XG suggesting he should have had a brace of assists too. But while Lukaku has maintained his rate of 4 shots and key passes per 90 from last season, Chelsea have arguably been more fluid without him, averaging 3.4 goals and 19 shots a game when he hasn't played, compared to 1.9 goals and 13 shots when he has, indicating that while Lukaku might be the club's best attacker, the attack is at its best with a passer up top like Kai Havertz. Lukaku will certainly come good, and Chelsea remain one of the best 4 sides in Europe, alongside Liverpool, City and Bayern Munich. But to win silverware, they'll need the 28-year-old to find his feet very soon. 9. Eder Militao. The second most used player at Real Madrid this season, 23-year-old Eder Militao has missed just one of the club's 13 league games to date, racking up 1,080 minutes. That means he only needs 54 minutes more to make this his best season at the Bernabeu, despite arriving from Porto for £45 million in 2019 amid claims he could one day replace Sergio Ramos. With such high praise, you'd have expected more than 41 appearances in his first 2 seasons, just 40% of the available total, but this year those claims might be starting to come true. Aerially dominant like Ramos, the Brazilian is also more aggressive than partner David Alaba, winning the ball 4 times a game to the Austrians 3. But he can't match up to Ramos' goal threat or distribution yet, with a single goal in 2 years at the club and 4 passes into the final third per 90, compared to the Spaniard's amazing 7. However, he is still young, has occasionally been deployed at right back, and is coming into a Real side spinning its wheels with Kylian Mbappe's contract winds down. Perhaps next year we'll see the real Eder. 8. Tanguy Ndombele. Buying one coveted young midfielder is good. Buying 2 should be great, but though many, including us, applauded Tottenham for their £97 million capture of Giovanni Lo Celso and Tanguy Ndombele in 2019, they're yet to see much value from the pair, who have contributed only 8,000 minutes over their first 2 seasons, about 900 less than the unreliable Serge Aurier and Eric Lamela in the same periods. Bafflingly likened to both Pogba and Kante at the time of his switch, it's perhaps no surprise that the Frenchman has been poorly used at Spurs, but he's undeniably lost his Lion verve. Once producing 1.6 chances and a massive 7.5 progressive passes a match, he's since slumped to 0.7 and 3, while his pressures and ball winning are both down too. The only metric that has remained stable is his dribbling, with a massive 3 per 90 and 72% success rate, placing the 24-year-old among the 10 best midfield dribblers in Europe, an ability which surely Antonio Conte can make something of. Despite his reputation, the Italian has developed youngsters before, from Pogba himself to Nicolo Barella. If Tottenham want to challenge for the top 4, he'll need to work some magic on the faltering Ndombele. 7. Christian Pulisic. Chelsea's transfer hit rate is among the best in world football, but they make a second appearance at number 7 with American wide man Christian Pulisic. Now reunited with the coach who gave him his professional debut at Dortmund, the 23-year-old is undeniably talented, but has never nailed down a starting spot with the Blues, a situation which is only getting worse thanks to the development of Mount Havertz and Hudson-Odoi. However, it's certainly not because Pulisic isn't good. Since his arrival in England, he's put up world-class XG numbers of over 0.6 a game, and ranks in the top 15% of forwards for carrying the ball forwards, dribbling, touches in the penalty area, and receiving progressive passes. He's even featured as a centre forward this campaign, while at international level he goes from strength to strength, contributing 8 goals and 3 assists in his last 19 games. That productivity makes his 11 absences and injuries since 2019 all the more frustrating, and while he's bound to be a star somewhere, if he continues to spend so much time on the treatment table, you can trust that Chelsea will be ruthless. 6. Joco Felix. The signing of Joco Felix was always meant for the long term. The 4th most expensive footballer ever at £104 million, Felix was handed a 7-year contract, making his yearly cost around £15 million, the same as signing a £60 million player on a 4-year deal. But it was expected that the Portuguese would be ready to make a difference quickly, and while he helped Atleti to the title last year, 4 players produced more goals and assists than his 12, hardly top-class outputs. Expected goals tells a similar story, with the 22-year-old averaging about 0.5 xG per 90 last season, Promising, but only 16th in La Liga, not good enough for a man whose personal value exceeds that of 9 La Liga squads. Nor do his stats show a clear upward trajectory, with dribbles and key passes down from last year and shots failing to reach the level of the season before, while his pressing has entirely disappeared. The former Benfica man closes down his opponents just 4 times a game this term, the lowest mark among outfielders in Spain and fewer than Ronaldo in the Prem. Undeniably, the talent is there and progress isn't always linear, but Atletico paid a huge fee for a huge return, and so far they're yet to see where their money's gone. 5. Nicolas Pepe. Nicolas Pepe was meant to explode the season. The Ivorian, Arsenal's record signing at £72 million, ended 2021 with 5 goals in 3 games and 21 strikes and assists in 26 starts across the league and Europa League, as well as leading the team in completed dribbles per game and hugely improving his defensive work rate, suggesting he was ready to start in Mikel Arteta's side, desperate for his versatile threat from wide. But it hasn't come close to working out. So far this campaign, Pepe has played just 45% of available league minutes, despite ranking first in the squad for shots, dribbles and chances created when he does get on the field. And while that implies the 26-year-old should be getting more game time, he's hardly the undroppable superstar you expect when your side forks out the 8th largest fee in Premier League history. The flashes of brilliance simply make the experience more frustrating for Arsenal fans. And while Saka and Smith Rowe continue to be involved even when playing poorly, Pepe is too often peripheral, drifting out of matches he should be dominating. It's partly a failure of Mikel Arteta, who has so far failed to craft a convincing attack despite learning under Wenger and Guardiola. But Pepe is in his prime and has every tool needed to succeed. If it doesn't happen this year, expect a cut price sale in 2022. 4. Frenkie De Jong. To be honest, there are more Barcelona players who haven't justified their price than those who have. So, instead of covering the obvious flops like Coutinho and Ndombele, we've chosen Frenkie De Jong, the rare pre-peak acquisition at a club which has made a habit out of buying stars past their best, and as a consequence, one of the most disappointing transfers they've made. For context, this isn't my choice. The Dutchman set Barca back £77 million, but in 2 years he's only lifted 1 Copa del Rey in the red and blue stripes. However, unlike Dembele, he at least gets on the pitch, missing just 13 games since he signed, not that it's helped his form. In his first 2 campaigns, he won possession just twice a game, down from 4 at Ajax, while his dribbling dropped from 3 per 90 to under 2. The only thing that's remained strong is his progressive passing, with a consistent rate of 7 passes into the final third each match, good for 6th in Spain this season, level with Luka Modric. Now 24, De Jong's numbers are at least improving, and it'll be hoped Xavi can unlock his undoubted ability. But given his price and Busquets' physical decline, De Jong needs to step up and become the engine of the team, not just a coat of paint on the bonnet. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. 3. Paul Pogba. If you want evidence that Manchester United is run according to commercial interests, not sporting ones, look no further than Paul Pogba. Signed for a then world record £89 million in 2016 after leaving for free 4 years earlier, the Frenchman looked like a world beater at Juventus, but never made the next step at United, and the club has kept him on at a cost of £300,000 a week instead of selling and rebalancing the team. It's telling that Pogba's best performances have come for France alongside Conte, but at Old Trafford there's no comparable defensive presence to cover for him, while Bruno Fernandes will always be first choice at number 10. It's a pity because the 28-year-old is exceptionally talented, ranking in the top 10 dribblers, passes into the box and passes into the final third in the Premier League. But his defensive presence has dwindled from 4 tackles and interceptions per 90 to 2.4, making him more of an attacker than a midfielder, a problem at a side which already has Ronaldo, Greenwood, Rashford, Bruno, Martial, Cavani and Sancho in the squad. Despite spells of brilliance, Pogba has been unable to develop his promise under a parade of underwhelming coaches, and United's refusal to move him on means they're set to lose him again for free in 2022. What a waste for both parties. 2. Matthijs De Ligt. Another Ajax man seemingly destined for superstardom, De Ligt was a huge captor for Juventus when they nabbed him for £68 million in 2019. Fresh from a run to the Champions League semis in which he scored 3 and knocked out Juve and Real Madrid at the age of 19, De Ligt appeared a worthy successor to Chiellini and Bonucci, a huge defensive presence with time on his side and the signature Dutch flair. In his first season, De Ligt won Serie A, but since then he stagnated, making just 2 defensive actions a match, down from over 3 at Ajax, committing twice as many fouls as he did in his homeland, and failing to add anything with his passing, getting the ball into the final third just twice a match, the same as Craig Cathcart and Victor Lindelof. Juventus have crumbled too, dropping from 1st to 4th last campaign, and so far in 21-22 they've already lost 4 of 13 league fixtures, more than in 4 of their last 10 whole seasons. De Ligt's lack of development has seen him linked with an exit to Chelsea and Tottenham, but at 22 he's got a whole career still ahead of him. Let's hope this misstep hasn't permanently damaged his potential. 1. Jack Grealish. This may strike you as harsh. After all, Jack Grealish is not even 20 games into his Manchester City career, and he's producing great underlying numbers with 0.6 expected goals a match, as well as ranking 1st in the league for progressive carries, shot creating actions and key passes, pipping Alexander-Arnold, Bruno Fernandes and De Bruyne in the latter category on 3.4 per 90. However, his excellent stats have only translated into 3 goal involvements in the Prem, and 2 in Europe in 13 appearances at the time of writing. And given that City prioritised signing him over Harry Kane, they might have expected more. Despite those expected goals figures, the Englishman only sits 5th in the City squad. And while the club still has a great attack, racking up 25 goals in their opening 12 Premier League fixtures, that's only 2 more than West Ham and behind Chelsea and Liverpool, suggesting that the former Villaman has not made the offence £100 million better just yet. If City don't win the league and Sterling leaves the peanuts having lost his place to Grealish, it'll be hard to argue what this British record move actually accomplished. Sadly for the 26-year-old, the odds are stacked against him. So that was 10 players yet to justify their price tag. Where do you agree with us? Where do you not? Let us know in the comments down below. We're always up for a debate. Make sure you've liked and subscribed to Football Daily with the notification bell switched on, and we'll see you next time.